I grew up in Melbourne, Australia. I grew up with 4 other siblings and a mother and father who really cared for me. I was inspired by my older brother, who I looked up to tremendously. When I was around 9 years old, my brother came home with a trophy, and that trophy inspired me to ask him, "Hey, Tim, where did you get that?" He said, "I got it playing lacrosse." So it wasn't too long that I followed his footsteps and picked up a lacrosse stick down at Surrey Park Lacrosse Club and learned the game of lacrosse.
At the age of 19, after sitting the bench at Surrey Park in the first 2 weeks of the season, Purdie transferred to Chadstone to play at the state league level. Purdie helped Chadstone make it to the state final and received Australia's most prestigious award, Best and Fairest, by getting 28 votes in the 16 games he played.
A dream of mine was to play in America, probably around 16, 17 years old. I wrote to different schools, and I really decided probably 17, 18 years old that I wanted to try to come to this country and get better at the game of lacrosse. Australian lacrosse was great, and I really enjoyed it, but I knew there was something more for me.
I began coaching in 1977, and I pretty much went through to 1991 when I became head coach, and left in 93 when we went back to Division II and won a national championship. In 1986, the World Games were held in Toronto, and I couldn't go, but the head coach, Paul Doherty, went there and called me and said, "I think we're going to have our first Australian player." And I met Gordon then in the fall of '87. When Gordon got to Adelphi, I was coaching football in the fall, and I came to watch them in a fall scrimmage. And one of the players, Gary Blome, told me, "Well, you know, Gordon's very rough. He goes with one hand. He goes into the middle. I don't know if he's going to help us this year." Never has there been a more uninformed statement, because Gordon grew. He probably worked harder than anyone I ever coached. And he grew to bring us to the quarterfinals of the NCAA Division I tournament in his first year here.
There was a lot of differences. One was the climate. I'd never played in cold, freezing cold weather before, where we had to play in snow, sleet, and the rain was unbelievable here on Long Island. The style of game was very different, so it took me quite a while to adapt to the U.S. style of lacrosse.
Gordon was probably the hardest working player that I ever coached. He did everything for us. Most guys at the end of practice, when you run sprints, they just try to survive. I don't think Gordon ever lost a sprint in his 3 years at Adelphi. He was so driven.
After becoming a 2-time All-American at Adelphi University, Gordon Purdie went on to play professional indoor lacrosse for 13 years. He spent the first 10 years of his career playing on Long Island at the Nassau Coliseum for the New York Saints. He spent the next 2 in New Jersey playing for the New Jersey Storm, and after that, he spent a year with the Anaheim Storm out in California.
And they gave Gordon a shot, and for the next 10 years, he was a force in the indoor league.
Throughout Gordon Purdie's lacrosse career, he was able to represent Australia 7 times. He played in 5 outdoor World Games and in 2 indoor. This is more than anyone else has been able to accomplish in international lacrosse.
Following Gordon Purdie's professional career, he began coaching at his alma mater, Adelphi University, in 2007. He has brought in much success to the Panthers. Over the years, he has been the head coach and still coaches at Adelphi University today.
I've been blessed. Arriving in '86, now we're 2018. I've had 32 years of opportunity, and lacrosse has been a part of my life. I started a camp called Checkmate, and I'm blessed to be able to continue to coach young players the game today. Where do I see the future? I'm going to continue to coach here at Adelphi. It's something that I love to do on a daily basis, and I really look forward to challenging our team for another championship.